All right, guys, how's it going? Now, this video is going to be about Alexis McAllister and Real Madrid. But before I get into that, there's two things I want to tell you. One, I will be live on here tonight at 6:30 p.m. UK time if you want to come along for a natter about all things LFC. And two, usually you see me sat around on my monitors at my workstation. I've got a blinding headache today, so I'm just trying to stay away from the screens, to be honest with you. All right, so as you know, every day I check the Spanish football newspapers for you, all right? One of the reasons I do that is to look, obviously, for things to do with Liverpool Football Club, but one of the reasons is to look for anything to do with Alexis McAllister. So each day when I check the papers, I'm looking for anything to do with Canate and anything to do with McAllister. And I keep my eye open for FSG because they've been linked with quite a number of Spanish clubs here. I haven't looked at those Spanish football dailies today yet. I will do that after this video. I probably should have done that before this video. But if there's anything of interest that you need to know, I'll come back and tell you. So if you don't see anything to do with that today, you know there was nothing. So Alexis McAllister, there's a journalist that writes for The Athletic who goes by the name of Mario Cottegana. He focuses on Real Madrid. He's been in the game for years. Very credible journalist as well. He's not known for, clickbait and rumours and things like that. He's not at the level of Paul Joyce and Ornstein, when it comes to that level of journalism, with Liverpool Football Club, for example. But he's certainly known on the beat in Madrid. He's certainly got a feel for things that are going on. And if I was reading something from him to do with Liverpool, I would certainly pay attention. So in an article that he's published today on The Athletic, it's not specifically about Alexis McAllister. It's like, a roundup of Real Madrid, wheeling and dealing, things they haven't done, things they should do and stuff like that. And he singles out McAllister later, in the article. Is that the wrong thing to say? Singles him out because he mentions different players. But he mentions him. And he says as follows: Ancelotti asked for Alexis McAllister, now at Liverpool, when he was in charge. Although no deal was ever fully explored, Madrid received positive feedback from those around him. The 27-year-old is well liked at the club, and his contract at Anfield until 2028 might make a deal more feasible if Madrid were to make a move. That's it. He does mention other players, so it's not singling him out. It's not an article dedicated to him, because what's happened, as usual, is the Twitter twats, the content instigators, have picked that bit out, thrown it out online, on Twitter and social media or whatever, put the journalist's name, and most people will think, oh, that journalist has wrote an article about Alexis McAllister. It's a general roundup, and he gets, half a paragraph or a paragraph, if you like. So what I will say to you is, from my knowledge and from analysing the Spanish, football newspapers and reading them for a long, long time now for you guys, Alexis McAllister has been mentioned with Real Madrid a few times, 3-4 times, maybe in the last year, maybe longer than a year now. So he's not a name that comes up all the time. And there's never been, from my recollection, a front page splash or anything like that, or an article completely dedicated to him. It's usually articles like this, those summary articles where they say, oh, could happen, that could happen, and maybe mention 3 potential, targets. And McAllister usually gets a mention. And this journalist, by the way, has worked for Marca and AS, I think, as well. Just remembered that. So the reason I say that is because they're the two papers that I read regarding Madrid. And obviously, Jose Felix Diaz was at Marca, and he wrote about McAllister quite a few times in the last year. Those times I mentioned, sorry. And he's now gone to AS after 30 years or so at Marca. So AS might get some more juicy stuff now. Anyway, so it's what they've always said, Jose Felix Diaz. By the way, if you don't know who Jose Felix Diaz is, he's the closest journalist to Real Madrid and Florentino Perez. Everything he said about Trent Alexander-Arnold, forgot his name. Trent Alexander-Arnold, for example, was accurate and bang on. And he's done a lot of reports about Canate as well, and he hasn't said much about Canate recently, though. I think that's kind of being left as the media in Madrid are trying to say that Canate is asking too much money. He's priced himself out of move. We've gone over that a million times before. This video is not about Canate, but I think the Real Madrid got pissed off with his agent. So for Canate to secure a free transfer to Real Madrid, he's going to have to lower his terms. That's basically the vibe out here. Any mentions of Alexis McAllister have always been with other players, very admired. So I believe what the journalist says there. I do think it's one to keep an eye out on. I'm sure I said in the summer, you check the comments, people will remind me or confirm or whatever. I'm sure I said in the summer, look out for Alexis McAllister being linked with us at the halfway point of the season. Does anyone remember that? I'm sure I did. Unless it was the year before, time flies. But I'm sure I said it in the summer because I just thought that we might see his name crop up with them. Contract lengths, things like that, and it is the halfway point of the season. But you know what my memory's like? I don't know if I said that last year or the year before. So you'll have to tell me. You'll have a better memory. So I think that what you're going to see is you're probably going to see some exclusives now appearing on these shitty websites, you know, Football Insider and things like that, Transfer Room or whatever they're called. You'll probably see stuff like that. It'll give them an idea now to focus on that. As I speak, it's probably been regurgitated and reposted around social media. So just be aware of that. The reason I'm making a video is to make you aware of where it's come from, right? And this is a credible journalist. It is. People would listen to him regarding claims surrounding Real Madrid, all right? And the other thing was to say, yeah, he does get a mention in the Madrid media. And that I do check that every single day of the week. And I've been saying that for ages. Every single day of the week, I think, I wonder if there'll be anything about McAllister today. I don't do that for any other players at Liverpool. I do it for McAllister, all right? So it is one to watch, guys. So I'm just giving you the non-sensationalized, genuine breakdown of that one. All right. Okay, I will leave it with you. If you found the video informative, please thumbs up the video. Please drop me a comment if you've got any opinions about McAllister and this, situation. If they're already making wild claims on social media, please feel free to let me know in the comment section. There's a love heart under the video, which is a super thanks. If you want to thank me, yeah, I guess you're thanking me. You're not thanking the channel, are you? That's a big help. I always give a shout out to everyone that does that in the morning briefings the next day. And there's 3 links in the video description. The grift continues. Yes, there's 3 links in the video description. Alternative methods. I love them all, but Revolut is my beer kitty for Saturdays, to be honest with you. And there's nothing in it. No one's bought me a beer this week yet. Not on Revolut anyway. They have on the super thanks. So, all right, guys, I'll leave it with you. I've just recorded a mail stand video for channel members if you want to see that, and there might be some more coming up on there. I know I'm a bit behind on those ones. All right, guys, take it easy. Don't forget live stream at 6:30.